Here we are. 'Tis the season.
Is it?
For tailgating. Didn't see that coming, did you?
Yep.
It's here it is.
You got it.
Today I want to show you guys a really fun one. So steak bites, I feel are fantastic, but most of the time people don't do it right. They cut the meat up first and then sear it and cook it once it's already cut. Not the way to do it. I'm going to show you guys a better technique for a juicy, fantastic steak bite. Today we are doing barbecue butter steak bites. Come on, let me show you guys.
Wait, I did steak bites like you just said not to do. Thanks for nothing.
Thanks for nothing. Wrong show, let me show you how to do it. Now this recipe really is a quick one. I've got a couple of fat steaks, big old steaks. Actually, before we get to the steak, I'm gonna turn my heat up to high because we do want fast, quick sear. So yeah, take a look at these. They're actually two different sizes. Now this is a fun trick if you have some people at your party that don't like medium rare, or we're gonna go medium rare or medium rare plus, perhaps. But if you do like some people like it well done, you can have a thinner steak. But a thicker steak gives us an opportunity to really take our time, let the Maillard reaction, which is that crust form, and let all of that fat on the inside turn into gelatin. Go back and watch the steak video if you guys want to learn more about the nerdy science.
The science.
He's already falling asleep over here.
I am.
So a couple of big fatty steaks, that's key, first thing. Now earlier we said we're not gonna cut it up. We're gonna season these bad boys whole. If you haven't seen it yet, the new Blackstone SPG, it's fantastic all-purpose seasoning. SPG just stands for salt, pepper, garlic, pretty simple. Standard, it's kind of one of those mainstays of steak cookery. It's all you really need. So we're gonna get to our barbecue later, but for now, just SPG. You know, if you want to, since it's so fat, we have a ton of surface area right here. Check that out. No seasoning. Let's hit it. Let's not be afraid. Also, with a big, thick steak like this, don't be afraid of over seasoning. Well, be afraid of over seasoning, but don't be afraid of seasoning heavy. Heavy seasoning is going to make that crust just fantastic. It's going to make the flavor of the beef sing. Yeah, so this guy's a little bit thinner. It's going to obviously cook faster, but you don't want them cut first. Mostly because like the juices will start coming out and you end up getting...
You didn't say anything to me when I made mine that way.
Wrong show. Can I say that? All right, let's hit our griddle. Now I've got this up to high heat. We do want it screaming. We want it to be at smoke point. Look like I might be there. Let's add some oil and see how we feel here. We definitely want it smoking. You want the instant that meat hits the griddle, you want to really start cruising. Yeah, can you see the smoke? Now we are ready. So both steaks, SPG, no muss, no fuss. Oh yeah, that's what we're looking for. You want those beautiful bubbles and that gorgeous sound. Oh, it smells so good. Smells so good already. Now the next part is really simple. I said earlier this is a very simple recipe. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than this. We're gonna do a little barbecue butter. So I've got some unsalted butter and one of our grease trap liners. We're just gonna throw in a stick of butter. Actually, I love these half sticks. Have you seen these, CJ?
Yeah.
Half sticks are awesome. So easy peasy. We're gonna add some of our Outlaw barbecue. If you haven't seen this one yet, give it a try. It is fantastic. Now this does have a little bit of sugar, a little bit of sweetness in it, which is why we didn't season our steaks. I want our steaks to spend a good bit of time getting that crust, and that sugar would burn before we really get the crust that we want. I wanna go one step further. I've got some garlic cloves here. Let's go ahead and give those a little smash and toss that right on our butter. The smashing doesn't change the flavor of the garlic, it just gives us more access to the oils in the garlic. There we go, beauty. All right, now just like that, easy, we're gonna stick it on the griddle. Let's go behind our steaks first, but once it starts sizzling and bubbling, we'll scoot over to the cooler side. That's it. Now we're gonna cook these steaks. I'd like to go medium rare plus, closer to medium. So what we're really looking for here is, I'd say 5 minutes per side, depending on the size of your steak. Don't go by time, go by feel. Also, when they're that fat and that thick, once you get that good crust, you can turn it onto the fat side or the thicker side and get that crust on all sides. That is what I'm talking about. So once these are finished, what we're looking for is that gorgeous crust, that perfect looking steak. We're gonna pull them off and let them rest. Generally the rule of thumb is about 5-6 minutes before we slice into them. while those steaks are resting, let's clean up the griddle real quick because we do want to cook these in a second. We'll get to that in a second. You know what I meant, CJ.
Sure.
Throw down some water, clean up all of those little bits of good, well, they were goodness, now they're not goodness. So we're gonna spray that with some of their burntness. Go ahead and scrape that out the back so we have a nice clean surface, because the next part is gonna blow your mind, CJ.
I'm ready for my mind to be blown.
Here we go. Truly, resting is more important than you know, or perhaps you do know. Maybe you have rested. Oh, you see that right there, CJ? See this? All of this goodness. So if you don't let your steak rest, all of those juices come out. Or if you cut like if you do your steak tips where you cut them first before doing it this way, you lose all those beautiful juices. You lose the juices, CJ.
Okay, so this one that you're cutting up right now, this is going to be the
Sure, you want to see? Check this out.
more done.
So even though this one is more done, we're still at a nice medium. We're still at a nice medium here, and that was a thinner
hanging in
steak.
the medium.
So what we're going to do now is basically take it into those bite-sized chunks. This is where you're talking family style, I suppose, or party style, right? Big, beautiful.
Like with toothpicks?
Oh yeah, for sure. Or you could do little forks.
Okay.
Little somethings. Go ahead and toss that back on here. Let's do the other ones too. So with both steaks, you're going to want to cut them up into bite-sized, maybe slightly larger than bite-sized pieces. If it's a football party, you got a bunch of dudes over or something, you make them bigger pieces.
I mean, that thick steak is going to need some cutting up.
Well, so this one is obviously not nearly as cooked, which is fine, because once these are all cut up, we're going to go back onto the griddle. Now, all of those juices that were left over in the plate, pour those right over the top, and we cannot forget about that barbecue garlic butter. CJ, come on!
Dude, let's
Pour
eat.
some of that over the top and give it a quick toss. Now, you want your griddle to stay nice and hot still, so high heat, very, very quick. And use your spatulas, put all of that into a bowl. If you want to, you can add a little bit more of that gorgeous, flavorful butter over the top. If you want a touch of color is always nice for presentation, so grab some flat leaf parsley, give that a nice chop, and go right over the top. I mean, the combination of the garlic, barbecue, and butter, that beautiful steak, all the juices, this really was very, very simple, but it's also super impressive. Let's take a bite of this mother.
That's a lot of toothpicks there, buddy.
Well, if you're going, you have a party. Oh, come on. You have a party. You want to wow the crowd. Toothpicks. That way people don't eat too much.
Dang. Is it cooked good?
Come on.
Oh, that's
Come on.
the I ain't lying to you dance.
I went full Betty just now.
Uh-huh.
I got to do
Betty
another
shuffle.
one. Also, I don't know if you noticed, I did not remove any fat. I'm a fan of the fat. Doing it this way, people who don't like the fat, they can pick the other bite. But this one right here, dude, that gorgeous
Dang it.
Gorgeous
One of that
beef fat.
piece, dude.
There's more fat.
So are you going to do a
more
post-dust
fat.
or anything?
No,
Oh, and how convenient.
but if you wanted to add some extra seasoning, you could just give it a 1-2, a little Wetfer. Also, don't forget all of that stunning butter on the inside. Now that garlic sat in there for a hot minute, as long as the steaks were on there, right?
Sure.
So that garlic really had a chance to get all crazy delicious.
So you're just kind of using that as a dipper?
Oh, take a little piece of bread. I don't know if, can you see in here, CJ? There's so much meat in this
How
bowl.
about I get in there?
If I tilt it, can you see
yeah.
it then?
Oh, yeah. There's
So now that's not just that butter. Now it's mixing with the beef fat. So you can get your bread down in there. Do that move. This could be dinner for me. Hunk of bread, delicious beef. I'm gonna get one more piece just so you can relish with me. Wow.
Wait for it.
Wow.
Hold on.
Yeah, you hold on.
I'm okay. Wow.
We made it. Thick cut. That's the way to go. I'm gonna finish this bite before I start talking
So
again.
I gotta say, dude, it was actually really rad because I've done steak bites before.
Yeah?
And I pre-slice. But your steaks typically will get overcooked
You know what?
because
While we're here, we did go on to the Blackstone a second time, but those larger pieces, check this out.
Yep,
There's still a beautiful medium on the inside, right? So we have all that flavor. We have the traditional look of a steak bite, but they're far more juicy, and we can control the temperature at which we cook them. All well done. I'm sure it's fine. That garlic barbecue butter, pretty amazing, even if they're all well done. But if you want this, look at this. CJ, you can see that, right?
Yeah,
See that?
Looking. We've been
We're
ready to
We're
eat.
still at medium. So maybe that's the tip or the technique of today's episode. Do steak bites. They're so much fun. You can serve a lot of people. They're really, really delicious. You can change up that flavor of the butter, make it any way that you want. You could go Cajun. You could go garlic parmesan. You can do a ton of different stuff. But cook the steaks whole, then cut them into shape. Throw them on the griddle one more time. That's it. Bob's your uncle. Grab another toothpick. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out. Do all the stuff. Subscribe, like, leave us a comment down below. I actually really would love to know how you guys make steak bites at home, or if you're gonna try this trick, let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't yet, click the little bell icon next to the subscribe button. If you're on YouTube, watch all the other fun shows, all the other fun recipes. We have a ton of stuff coming up every single week. Find us on all the other social media platforms.
Yep.
Social media, you know what I meant.
Platforms.
All that stuff. But this is Cook, Eat, Repeat, where we like to help you become a better cook one recipe at a time. I'm your host, Chef Nathan Lippy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. So good. So good.